Are 99% of guys incels or am I just wrong? For context, I post videos on TikTok about talking to girls. To give you some side-by-side statistics, I made a video saying when people go to clubs and party destinations, they deep down all want to talk to girls but can't. Yep, 100%. I mean, some people can, but like basically 90-something% of the guys who are going out are 100% doing it because they want to talk to girls. And I'd say about 80% of the girls who are going out want to do it because they want some attention from guys. They want to be looked at, including especially the girls in relationships. So be careful of your girl going out to those clubs. In my opinion, the whole scene is for meeting people. Yeah, completely agreed. When people tell you that like they go out to dance, it's fucking bullshit. You just dance in your own home if you wanted to dance. You go out specifically because there's other people there. You go out because it's like a bit of a young person social event. You get to dress up nice. You get to like appear as high status as possible and see if you're desirable. It has 200k views and only like 6k likes. There are hundreds of hate comments and probably less than 10 agreeing with me. Most people don't have the self-awareness to be able to say something like, yeah, I go out because I want attention. I go to the gym because I want to be more attractive. Most people just parrot the same, the same standard societal bullshit. I go to the gym for me, not for anyone else. I do it for me, not for anyone else. I'm not in competition with anyone else. I'm in a competition with me. I don't go out to get girls. I don't go out to get guys. They're usually just people who have very little self-awareness. To compare, a post I've came across while looking for content ideas has 125k views, nothing but positive comments, 40k likes, and is basically saying every girl is either a bop, has a roaster, misses their ex, or is so lustful, so I'm retiring. It's insanely basic. They're all saying, hey, I want girls, which is the point they're disagreeing with me on. But I can't find a good one. They're all wank, so I give up. I'm not getting hung up on metrics here, but I feel so strongly about this belief that every healthy guy wants to talk to girls. It's my niche on TikTok as someone who spent the time in party destinations, works in sales, so predominantly socializing. Used to struggle massively with approaching girls. But how are so many people disagreeing with me? I think this is a bit of a retarded question. You're basically asking for an analysis of the peasant brain, like the Jeffreys, the masses, and you're allowing that to basically change your emotions. I understand this is your work, and technically, you need some engagement, you need some likes and whatever. But really, who gives a fuck? How are these people like disagreeing with me? Because they're not self-aware. Their prefrontal cortex is all destroyed because of years of scrolling and porn and ultra processed food and sleep deprivation. Why would you try and analyze the behaviors of the masses? Like you'd just be dumbfounded thinking, oh yeah, these people are very unintelligent. And how is the latter point getting so much positivity? And also look, we're basically comparing data, but of only 2 points. My video got X, this other video got X. How is his one different from mine? Because it's a different fucking video. Come on, I know, like you're looking at one thing here. This is kind of like you step on the scale, in the bathroom, you step on the scale and it says, okay, you're 80.1 kg. Then a couple hours later, you step on it again and it says you're 80.4. And you're worrying, you're like, what? How are the numbers different? Whoa, because it's been a few hours, motherfucker. You had something to drink. It's not that big of a deal. You're acting like a fucking middle-aged fat white woman right now. She steps on the scale at the end of the day and she's like, oh my God, I've gained 14 pounds in one day. It's like, you're talking about data collection, but you're talking about it from emotions. Data is like, when you're looking at data, it's only supposed to have pure rational logic. Let the Asians, like the fucking rational, logical Asians, deal with data. You just keep making content and stop obsessing over like singular, oh, this one's got less likes, this one's got thingy. You're not a data analyst. You looking at the data is just going to be you concluding something that's probably not even true and then setting yourself down a path that's unoptimized. For everyone else, just don't be, looking at too many numbers on the internet. If you're posting some content, if you're you're checking what time the girl has replied. Okay, you sent a message 21 minutes, but then she sent a message 17 minutes. What does that mean? It's like, bro, it means fucking nothing. It means get a fucking life, bro. What the fuck are you worrying about? Wow, but hey, this one got more likes than this one. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? You don't need to be obsessed with this. And it feels unfair because his one is kind of similar to yours, and he got more likes. But who gives a fuck, bro? He's just said it in a better way that more people kind of agreed with. You know, he's given a lot of guys something to like. A lot of guys would like this, but when you say that guys are going there to meet girls, they're not going to like that, thinking, no, 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 not me, not me. I'm not going to meet girls. And how is the latter point getting so much positivity? It's almost like it's cool to not care just because you can't talk to women. I don't know. I can hear it from some people with a brain. Am I talking shit here? Yeah, more and more people are just dropping out of the dating market. So if you have the message of like, okay, I'm retiring, and yeah, you know, everyone is a bad person, whatever. I'm gonna go my own way. More and more people, more like about 50% of men and women are in that situation now where they're just saying like, yeah, they don't want to date or anything. If you are on the other side and you're helping people date, okay, there's a lot of people who are looking for that. But if you're making videos for the people who can't admit that they want to date, basically they kind of broadcast that they don't care about girls, but they actually do. And the reason why they say I don't care about girls is just because, you know, then they have no accountability with their failures. That's the hardest bucket to target. You're making a video for people who can't admit that they want women. You should serve the people who openly admit that they want to date, or you should serve the people that like completely are fed up and, you know, they're just dropping out of the dating market, whatever. And yeah, loads of people are doing that. That message is very popular these days. It started with like the men going their own way movement like 5-10 years ago. A lot of guys first started to think, yeah, like the juice just isn't worth the squeeze. Everyone's telling me like I can work hard, get the physique, the body, the gains, but then I risk getting like this hashtag me too fucking case if I go up and speak to a girl. And if I do speak to the girl and get rejected, then she'll tell everyone, then HR will fire me. And let's say that I even get the girl, well then I've got some normal fucking American woman who's weirdly masculine and quite like a bad person to be with in a romantic relationship. She's like a ball buster, she's not feminine. So for a lot of guys, they just started to drop out of the dating market. And the thing is, you can't even blame them. And then with girls, a lot of girls are dropping out of the dating market. They're thinking like, yeah, every guy's a weird little femboy these days. What do I gain from being with a guy? I can provide for myself. I don't need some fucking dork to you know, make money because I make more money than him. And also, like, I can just fucking finger myself. I've got sex toys. It's literally more pleasurable than being with a guy. So why would I even just go like let a guy into my life when I also have a vibrant social life with my girls? So honestly, like, there's good reasons, right? Like, there's a lot of people who are retiring from the dating market, and you can't even blame them. You hear their reasons, and you're like, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. A lot of men gain absolutely nothing by even being open to dating women, and a lot of women being open to men gain absolutely nothing. So it's just the area of life that we're in. That's it. I make videos about overcoming approach anxiety and get positive DMs on guys on Instagram from guys who relate, but nearly all of my audience is negative. It's kind of like, am I actually wrong here? The hate doesn't bother me, so to speak, but when people disagree with your message, you do start to think, don't you? Look, people are going to disagree and say, oh, well, this is a waste of time, whatever. Let them. That's their own opinion. You're just working on your thing, and you're trying to help the guys who are still wanting to approach and get girls. Same as me. I'm helping the guys who are still hopeful and want to do that, whilst I can acknowledge, just, you know, you've got to have some like empathy. Just acknowledge the type of person who doesn't want to do that, who's given up, and who'll comment on your videos saying like, yeah, right, none of you are actually getting girls. Yeah, right, Hamza just pays these girls to be, you know, like to date him or something. You've got to, like, at first I used to look at that and be like, what the fuck's wrong with you, you little retard? Like, how does it come up in your mind that like someone's paying a girl to like whatever? But now I just look at them with just some empathy and be like, yeah, you know what? His life experience has got him to the point where he believes the only way that you can get like a woman into you is by paying her, or is by being tall, or is by this or this or this. Fair enough. I feel sorry for these people, like, because they've had a shit fucking dating life. They've just been rejected by people. They've had a bad mindset, whatever. But these are not the people we're trying to help. So you making content for the type of depressed little incel and the men going their own way and the woman who's dropped out, whatever, doesn't make sense, because they're not the people you're trying to help. So this is a half bit of advice I'm giving specifically for the guy who wrote this post, for you to basically just lock in and be a better marketer. You just focus on your own avatar, the guy who wants to improve, the guy who wants the girl, not the people who are commenting shit, right? You focus just entirely on your avatar. You don't try and like spend so long thinking about, oh, but this guy says that he doesn't want to date, so maybe I should question myself. No, you just think about your avatar, and your avatar, the type of person you want to attract to your business, is the one who's actually going out and getting girls. So that's like half of this post was like this marketing question. But the other half is like the societal dating trend we see these days where people are dropping out of the dating market. I wouldn't say 99%, obviously that's an exaggeration, but it is like, bro, I'd say about 50% of guys, it seems to me, have just got to the point where they just don't really give a shit. And there's some statistics I heard that like 50% of young people haven't had sex in a few years or even ever, I think. 50% of women are basically single, childless, no marriage by the time they're 30, 35 is the first time in recorded history. And that's just the world we live in. And we can talk about this, but if you are a content creator or if you're someone who, feels a bit of a purpose to help people to date and to meet each other, don't focus on the people who have dropped off. Or you can do to try and convince them. But I would just focus on the people who are actually actively trying, right? Like think about how hard it is to become like an attractive guy and to, get girls. It's hard enough when you want to. It's basically impossible if you don't want to. It's the same with self-improvement, right? Should I make posts trying to like convince guys who hate self-improvement to get onto it? No. That's a waste of fucking time. Self-improvement's so fucking hard as it is when you want to, right? When you want to quit the bad habits, and it's still so hard. That's why whenever someone says to me like, oh, Hamza, like, what should I do? My brother's a Jeffrey. I always ignore the question because I'm not going to waste my time with trying to help someone who doesn't want help, right? I only help guys who actually want to get help from me and they want the result. If someone's there like basically just being negative and not wanting the result, you don't even try and help them. My main belief on it right now is they're just downplaying it because they don't have it. Yeah, absolutely. They're downplaying it because they don't have it. And if they feel like they admit that they want it, it will show like a deficit in their character. Like, for example, let's say you go up to speak to a girl and she rejects you. It's easier if you're a pussy to step away and say, oh, yeah, well, she was fat anyway. I didn't even want her anyway. It's easier to say that than to think, oh, damn, she wasn't into me. I wonder what I could improve on. Right? It's easier for these guys to say like, yeah, well, I'm retiring because every girl's bad. Or, every girl's a slut, so I'm not even going to take a relationship seriously. It's easier to say that than it is to say, okay, well, like, why won't they be my slut? I'd love it if that girl was my slut. I'd love it if that girl was sucking my dick, but they're not. And you admitting you want the girl, but then not getting girls, that is what hurts. And a lot of people just don't have the self-awareness or the accountability to admit that to themselves. Like poor guys who say, oh, I have a family and that makes me happier than any rich man. Yeah, so true. Just dragging a positive thing because it's easier than working towards it 100%. A lot of people say this. I was in the gym a few days ago and this like spiritual girl, I was speaking to her and then she ended up just saying this sentence. She was like, yeah, but like, I'm okay not making money because people who make a lot of money are never happy. And I was like, wait, let me just stop you right there. That's not true, don't you? And I was surprised because I thought she'd challenge me, but I saw like the sort of belief break in her brain straight away because I was like, every person I know who makes money is more happy than the people who don't. That belief you have, one, it doesn't even help you, and two, it's come from like basically you don't even know any rich people, do you? And she actually listened to me. Maybe, afterwards she just went back into a fucking bubble. But a lot of people will say shit like, oh, well, I don't want to get rich because all the rich people are depressed. It's like, no, fuck you. If you could click and be rich right now, you would. It's just because you're a fucking dumb, simple, brain fucking little retard who can't get rich. The same with like the guys who are like, oh, well, I don't even care about girls. Girls are a distraction. If we gave that guy a hot girl, he'd be so fucking happy. But it's easier for him to say like, oh, well, they're just a distraction. Because he just can't get fucking laid, right? It's easier for people to just villainize, like you've said here, villainize rather than actually level themselves up. It's easier for people to villainize girls than build their approaching skills and broaden their opportunity. Yeah, that's the biggest. You've answered your own question here. I don't know if maybe I'm coming across the wrong way, but then again, it's blowing up my vids, so I guess I carry on. Yeah, just 100%. I just do that. Just keep doing the same content and don't aim towards these kind of incel type of guys. Aim towards the guys who you genuinely want to help, and don't spend time trying to think of the people who don't want your help. Let's say if I'm like a fitness influencer and I'm helping people lose weight, I should be focused on the people who want to lose weight. I should be not focused on the people who don't want to lose weight. What's the fucking, there's such a waste of time there. I'm going to attach here the examples I used above. Tell me if I'm wrong. Anywhere I just really don't. Okay, let's have a look.
Imagine going to places like this and speaking to no girls. And you can see the ratio. I don't like talking about that, but the ratio is huge. Woman, 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 woman. And I would speak to zero. Can I just add, by the way, this place is thousands of miles away from home. home. So when you come out to places like this, if you're thinking, oh, I'll talk to girls then because I'm never going to see them again, but you're not speaking to people in your hometown, you aren't. The location's not
Yeah,
what's stopping you talking to.
of course, like a lot of guys will watch them and be like, oh, this guy tries to speak to girls, whatever. Of course they will. A lot of like just like insecure people are just going to judge you for that. When every girl in this generation is either a bop, stuck on their ex, lustful, or a cheater, so you just blow the whistle and end the game. The vast majority of people are indeed incels. The guys that only approach fat generic girls in the club. Literally 2 out of 10s they can do so, but need to get incredibly drunk. I was dating this girl that was a solid 9 out of 10 in looks. She talked about how in the club she thought she was ugly because no man ever approached her. This is so true. You would be so surprised how little the actual hot girls get approached. Often, honestly, like a lot of guys think you need to looks max and whatever to like attract women. You don't, honestly. It comes back. It's like the end of the bell curve when you watched a lot of like fucking looks maxing videos, black pill, all this stuff. What you'll realize is the guy who gets the hottest girls is often not the hottest guy at all. You actually routinely what you'll see is some stunning girl with some like fucking ugly ass looking guy, but he just had the fucking balls to go up to her, and she hasn't been approached in weeks. She's been catcalled. She's been stared at. You know, guys will like look at her like this, like guys will look at her like that. But very few guys actually go up and get the girl just because it's fucking scary for us, right? Just because it feels so fucking scary because you're so scared everyone's going to see you get rejected by the hot girl or whatever. So, yeah, just watch out. Not watch out, but just like understand that approaching is like, honestly, it's easier than you think to go get some of the most beautiful girls. It's just because it's scary that most guys don't do it, and they will never look at you and be like, "Oh, I'm just scared, so I'm not going to speak to the girl." They'll say, "Oh, well, yeah, because she's kind of ugly anyway. Oh, yeah, she's not my type or whatever." But it's like, bro, if we clicked our fingers and made that girl into him, he'd be so happy. Meanwhile, her sister, like 4 out of 10, slightly overweight, had dozens of men approaching. Hot girls do not get approached. There is no competition for them. Literally go up to a baddie with some confidence and wit, and you have her. Stop going crazy over 4 out of 10 girls because you think they're easy. They're not. Hot girls are easy. That's a fucking bar right there. I must also add, where you post content is a bit important. TikTok is full of people that spend 16 hours a day scrolling. Basically, they're all dopamine junkie losers that can't maintain eye contact for more than 2 seconds a day. X is full of Nazis. Reddit is full of communists. Just post on Instagram and YouTube. People there make more sense. That's so fucking true. You're right. Most guys want girls but suck at approaching and cope by pretending they don't care. Your message triggers them because it exposes their weakness. Yeah, this is all true. And look, you're doing good work. If you're helping guys get into approaching, then awesome. And if someone's watching this on YouTube and you're getting into approaching, and of course it's kind of hard, bro, you're on the right side here. It's tough to go and to speak to new girls and everything, but it will serve you so well being like that. In the top link in the description, I've got a few courses here that you could go through if you want to join. This is kind of like our social media Netflix thing for guys on self-improvement, and you can have a look at some of the courses that are in here right now. Like if you go cold approach the girl and you want to take her on a date, well, this is how you can do that. And there's plenty of things here that I think would really help you on this journey. So top link in the description, come join our community here. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.